Hi teachers. This is going to be the first video of many that I make, and I'm going to call this Teacher Tech Help. So today I'm going to show you how to make interactive worksheets, tests, whatever you want to do on teachermade.com. So TeacherMade is a new website that I've kind of known about, but I haven't really utilized. But I did today. I played around with it a little bit, and I'm going to show you what I did on it today and how you can use it too. So first of all, these videos will always be posted in our Google Classroom, but I also have a YouTube page called The Fabulous Miss Perrin. You're more than welcome to subscribe to it. There's an actual playlist called Teacher Tech Help that videos will be uploaded like this. So if there's something you want to see, something you want to know more about, something that you're just not sure or want me to look at, I would be more than glad to. But this is called teachermade.com. And what this is going to do is this is going to take any document that you have, as long as it's in digital form, so you can take a picture of it or scan it, and it's going to make it interactive. So I'm going to show you how I am taking the first grade reading test and making it interactive. If you are a Think Central teacher, you know that the reading tests are online, but they're just not that good. And it just is what it is. So I'm going to show you how to, first of all, access TeacherMade, pull up a document, take a screenshot of the document, whether you're on a Windows computer or Chrome. I'm on Windows, so everything I'm doing is just automatically Windows. I'm going to show you how to edit Google Slides to make everything an 8.5 by 11. I'm going to show you how to take that and turn it into a PDF so you can load it into TeacherMade. I'm going to show you how to make TeacherMade interactive and self-grading, then send it to your Google Classroom to schedule out. I do know the shortcut for Google for the Chromebooks. It's on the tip of my tongue when it comes to the snip tool that I use in Microsoft, so just kind of bear with me. I will Google it after this and put it in the comment box on how to do that. So let's go ahead and take a look at teachermade.com first. So this is teachermade.com. This is 100% free. It's very easy to use. I think this would be good for something if you were a junior high teacher with one-to-one, so you can assign work this way. Virtual students can use this. And if we go into closure, I think this would be something good to use as well. So to get started, of course, you can check it all out. What does it do? I don't want their newsletter. I'm already part of it, but here we go. But you're going to hit sign up now. I can't hit sign up now because I've already set up something, so I'm going to hit login, return to app. It is an app on the iPhone, which I think is great, especially if you're going to take pictures of things. So these are my worksheets that I've been working on and kind of playing around with, but I'm going to show you how to take a Think Central test and make it interactive. So if you're not a Think Central teacher, still watch me walk through this because this is something that you might utilize different steps along the way. So let's go ahead and open up Think Central here. If you're a Think Central teacher, you know I'm going to go into the teacher resources page and find the test that way. So resources, and then I'm going to narrow it down to reading. And then I'm going to go all the way down to teacher resources, and I'm gonna have to open a new screen for you, so bear with me for just 1 second because things change here. So this is my resource hub. I'm gonna go to grab and go resources. I'm gonna access the hub, and I'm gonna open up the test. So let me share this one more time. Okay, so I'm actually gonna open up the reading test now and make sure I'm still sharing this screen. Here we go. Okay. So this is the reading test. The typical first grade reading test is around 10 pages, and it's always the last 10 pages, so bear with me as I scroll down here. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to show you how to take a screenshot of this. If you're on a Windows tablet, down at the bottom next to the start button, there's actually going to be a little search box. You can type in SNP, S-N-I-P, and it will pull up the tool that I'm going to show you how to use. If you're not, I believe on a Chromebook, it's function, or Chromebooks, let me rephrase that. It's function, the Windows key, and F5, but I will double check that and I will put that in the notes here, but I want to show you how I'm going to use the snipping tool here. So let me show you this. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to type in snip. And I'm going to get this cute little app over here and make sure I'm still sharing this. Yeah. still sharing my screen. Okay, cool. So then the easiest way to do this is that I always make this the biggest I can make it, and I zoom out, just so I can see the entire page in one little block here. Then I'm going to open up my snipping tool and I'm going to select new, and you're going to get those little crosshairs. And what you're going to do is you're going to select what you want. Once you let go of the mouse, it pulls up a preview for you. And let me make sure you can see my preview still. Okay, cool. So now, if you like this, great. You hit File, Save As. If you don't like this, hit New, and it'll start over. So I'm going to hit File. Whoops. I'm going to hit File, Save As, and I'm going to call this Test 1. I've already done all this. So all of mine are in here, and I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? So let's close out of all this. No, I don't want to save it. Close out. And I'm going to go back. That's not what I want. I'm going to go back to TeacherMade. So here I go. If I go back to TeacherMade, I'm going to hit Create Worksheet. Now, I've done this 1,000 times already, so I'm going to call this Teacher Tech Help 1. So title your assignment whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead. I always like to put the date in there just so that helps me keep track of things. Description, you can put whatever you want. I'm going to put one of the standards in RF 1.3 here, and L.1.2. Just so I know for grading, if you're a standards-based teacher, I think this is going to be great for you. Now, this is where it's very important you watch this, because the only downside to TeacherMade is that if you don't kind of work around this, you can only do one worksheet at a time. So if I were to open this, I can't do all 10 of these at one time. It's going to say that it's just going to recognize one. So this is the next step we're going to take. We're going to open up Google Slides. Okay, so I opened up my Google Slides by hitting the little pancake or the waffles, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to hit blank. Now, this is something I'm going to show you that's just a cool trick to have, especially if you're trying to upload things to slides, or you're trying to get something printed, or just in general. I think this is a cool trick to know. So I'm going to go ahead and take this slide, and I'm going to delete everything off the background here. So I just select it, and I hit delete. Now, if I try to load something in here, it's going to be all kind of crunched up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this look like a real page. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Page Setup. I'm going to click Widescreen, and I'm going to hit Custom. And I'm going to make this a custom page of a piece of paper. So 8.5 by 11, and then I hit Apply. So now it flips it, and it makes it 8.5 by 11. Now, when we very first went into remote learning, I was using Google Slides for things, and I was using Microsoft PowerPoint. And my first graders were moving things around and deleting things, and then it was a whole fiasco. So this is what I've learned. If you go to Background and click Background and choose Image, I'm going to select those snips that I have. So I'm going to open up my desktop, snip number 1 of the test, and hit Done. Now my test is locked in here. No matter what I do, they cannot delete it. So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to hit Duplicate Slide all the way until as many as I need. And then I'm just going to go back to background, and I'm going to add the second image in. And I've already done this, so I'm going to open it back up, and I'm going to show you what exactly needs to be done as the next step. So I went ahead and add every test page that my first graders are going to work on tomorrow. And they all have their own little spot. Nothing can be moved. Now I'm going to go up here to this File, and this is how I'm going to chunk this assignment together. If I was doing 1 page, you would just ignore this, but I'm not. I have 8 pages. So I'm going to hit File, and I'm going to hit Download, and I'm going to turn this slideshow into a PDF. So I'm going to go ahead and hit PDF Document, and it's going to download it right to my computer. So it's taking its time here, and it's doing that. While it's doing that, I'm going to go over here to TeacherMade, and I'm going to double click this, and I just downloaded this as How Animals Communicate test. And I'm going to upload it in here. And it takes just a second to upload because it is taking all of my slides that I turned into a PDF, and now it's going to make them something completely different. So it's going to do this, but I want to explain something very, very quick here. It's going to put all these pictures in here. They're not selected. To make sure they're selected, I have to make sure that they have a red ring around them. If they don't have a red ring, they're not going to show up in my testing at all. So I want all of these pages, including that one, and I'm going to hit Create Worksheet. So now it's going to take it to our next step, which is now going to make it interactive, and here it is. So this is what I think is really cool, and I'm going to explain all of these parts to you. If you click this one right here, it gives you the crosshair, and you can do a short answer on a test, okay? If you click this one, it'll do a drop down. This one is an open answer, matching, true or false, yes or no, multiple choice, checkbox, hotspot, and it also does math equations, which I think is really neat. So mine are multiple choice here. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Every Journeys test has 3 multiple choice questions. So I'm going to select 3, and I get those little crosshairs again, and I'm going to put them right over top of my 3 original bubbles. Now, if you're a teacher who doesn't want to see, like it puts a big white box on it, you can hit this transparent box right here, and it'll go away. I'm not going to do that because my boxes are a little offset from another one, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to do this for every question, and there's something I want to show you. One of my first grade questions actually lays sideways, and I'm going to show you that this works even sideways. You just drag it that way. Now, of course, they don't have to be that big. You can readjust them to any size you want to, but this is the most important thing. In order to make this self-grading, you have to select the answer key, and this is very, very simple. So what animal uses smell to make others run away? That's the skunk. Watch. All I do is double click it and it fills it in with a gray circle. Once it does that, I know everything's set. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for the rest of mine, and then when I come back, everything will be ready and I'll show you what to do. Okay, so now I have every single question has been answered with this. Now this goes against everything that I do as a teacher and everything I tell my students, but we're not going to save this. We're going to hit the X right here. As soon as you do that, it's automatically going to save. And I know that like hurts every fiber of my being because hitting the X means it's gone, but it's not. So I'm going to hit the X here. And this is the next page it takes me to. So I can go ahead and hit create assignment and it'll take me to the next step, but I want to preview first just so I can see what my kids are seeing. So this is the test they're going to see. They don't have this option to see the text box, and I'll show you that, but everything is interactive and they can click and answer. So once I'm satisfied with it, I'm going to hit create assignment. Now, this is the title of it. You can name it whatever you want. This is an assignment of an assignment of an assignment that I've already done. This is the next important part. You want to make sure that you click using a Google account, because when students log into our Google Classroom, this is automatically going to be assigned to them, and we know that they've done it. Students in the upper grades, you might want to do this. I'm not going to, just because I don't think first graders should know their score yet on a test, especially with standards based. You can turn this on and off to show their scores. You have the option to show scores only, scores and student answers, or scores and correct answer. Junior high teachers, I would probably just do scores or scores and student answers. Your call, 100%. But I'm just thinking if you teach multiple sections, this keeps sharing of answers down. And then you can select how they're going to be displayed. Points earned in score, or just score. I'm going to turn that off. Now, hide toolbars from the students. I'm going to do this for first grade. Bigger kids, you might not want to. It'll give them text tools and drawing tools. You just have to toggle on what you want to give them. I'm not doing that. And then I'm going to hit create assignment. Now, this is the cool part. You can copy this to clipboard. It copies this URL and you can send it to your email. You can also hit share to Google Classroom. And for some reason, it always pulls up my personal account. So let me go this way. So I'm going to share it to my Google Classroom. And I'm going to select, I wanted to go to Journeys. And I'm just going to call it new assignment on TeacherMade. And I'm going to tell them good luck. And that's it. I'm going to set a score of 100. I want a due date of tomorrow, and I want a specific time of 3 o'clock. If you don't do a specific time, it automatically does 11:59. Now here's the next part. Because the test is tomorrow, I don't want them having access to it tonight. So I'm going to hit this little down button, and I'm going to hit schedule. And I'm going to schedule for tomorrow at 8 a.m. And once you hit schedule, it goes to your Google Classroom, and I'm going to show you where it's at. So it's been posted. And I can go into my classwork, and there it is, new assignment on TeacherMade. Now, I'm going to delete that because we've already done an assignment in here, but that's how it works. And it's all in there. It's going to self-grade. Everybody's going to get their own test, and I think it's great. It's easy. It's what, it's just going to make our life easier. So if you have any questions about it, please let me know. I'm available all night tonight. I will answer emails, text messages, whatever you have. If there's something you want me to take a look at, let me know. But if not, I just want to thank you guys for being awesome teachers. And if you have any questions, let me know. But have a great evening.